Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Seafoam Sessions, a monthly series where the Seafoam team sits down to discuss the latest developments in the marketing world and how they influence your industry. I'm your host, Zach Laidlaw, and joining me today are Brian Martin. Hi. Nikki Beisel, Tim Williams, and Holly Sinclair. Today we're talking about a topic inspired by an article by Andrew Steffen, a contributor at Forbes, titled "The Future of Marketing Needs Tech, but Let's Not Forget About the Humans." So the article overview is basically about the evolution of technology in the marketing world, such as marketing automation and artificial intelligence, and how it's begun to overshadow brands' investments in employee development. This reminded me of a conversation that some of us had before about the possibility of technology replacing humans in the workplace. This isn't a problem that just threatens the marketing industry, though. It can influence any brand or business in the world. So, case in point, according to McKinsey Global Institute, 60% of jobs contained activities that can be automated. Keeping this in mind, asking you guys, should technology replace human beings in the workplace? Why or why not?
This is a bad idea. For one, let's focus on the people. The economy right now it's in a struggle state for certain people. You know, they're finding it hard to find jobs. And I'm talking about those who are actually looking for jobs, doing what it takes to get a job. They're finding it hard to find that right position that they fit in. And now we're talking about artificial intelligence coming in and taking those jobs. What does that actually do for our economy? You know, yeah, those people who are making these artificial intelligence are making money, but what about the middle class, the lower class? You know, what are they doing? How are they feeding their families? All of that. If there's artificial intelligence taking their jobs, what is our use in the world then?
Well, this isn't new. Automation has been coming like a steamroller, and so that's already happening in some sense.
Well, and I think it's been happening for 150 years.
Right.
You know, factories had machinery that replaced people. But I think for me, it you know, if you sort of zoom out a little bit, everybody on this couch has probably heard me be a broken record about my view that technology for technology's sake is relatively worthless. It can be fun to play around with, but in the grand scheme of things, technology for technology's sake doesn't produce much value, whether economically or in terms of quality for any given industry. I think a nice sweet spot is when you find technology that can sort of melt into daily life or work life. So where are the things that, there are certain things that most people do in their jobs that are, take what we do, there are certain things that we do that are super redundant. We do them over and over and over again. For us, a big thing is we track the time we spend on any given task or project or client. That helps us internally figure out where we need to be focusing our efforts. Manually tracking that time is sort of a waste of human brain power. We as humans are very intelligent. And if we waste that time and energy and power on something that's relatively rote, what are we missing out on? So if we can use technology in a way that lets humans be more human, if that makes sense, then I think that is the appropriate use of technology and artificial intelligence and automation. Now, I think you have to have an honest perspective on it. And you have to look at all of the different ways that what you're creating can potentially affect, whether good or bad, any given person or circumstance. But I think if you're honest about it and you're looking to create value in human lives, I think it perhaps can hold you more accountable to what technology you're creating, using, and why.
I agree with you in a lot of ways. I think for me, I've always felt about technology the way I feel about scientific advancement. You know, I'm mostly all for it. I like the idea that people who know a lot more about technology than I do are sitting in a room making advancements and discovering new things. I'm all for it, but I don't think you can take the human element out of it. I think that technology is most worthwhile when human beings can respond to it and interact with it in a useful way, if that makes sense. And I think that's just what you just said.
Yeah, that was a much more succinct way of saying everything I said.
Writer. But yeah.